We got a new sponsor on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. It is Chewy. You probably have heard of Chewy before. They really do have everything you need to keep your pet happy and healthy. Whether you're shopping for food, treats, or even healthcare, Chewy makes it fast, easy, and affordable. With over 100,000 products from all your favorite brands, Chewy has everything your pet needs, and it's not just for dogs and cats. They've got supplies for birds, fish, reptiles, and small pets, too. Chewy also makes it easy to manage your pet's health with prescriptions, telehealth, vet visits, and even in-person vet clinics rolling out nationwide. Auto Ship is a game changer. You can set up automatic deliveries for your food, treats, or any essentials, so you never run out and you can easily change or cancel it anytime. Chewy has everything you need to keep your pet happy and healthy, and right now you can save $20 on your first order and get free shipping by going to chewy.com or clicking the link in the description. Save $20 on your first order with free shipping by clicking the link in the description. Minimum purchase is required. New customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See the site for complete details.
Mike, let me say something about Chewy real quick. I'm glad they're a new sponsor of ours because I oddly was just reading this very cool story about Chewy. Apparently, you know, Chewy, you order the dog food or cat food online, but this story was dog food. And, you know, when your dog dies, the first thing you think, you're not going to be thinking about canceling your subscription to Chewy. But apparently, when a dog dies, Chewy, when you eventually call them, they will refund you your last order, and then they send you like flowers, like, "Hey, sorry about your dog passing away." And they don't have to do that. Nobody would expect that.
That's crazy.
That's a really good company, and I'm glad they're part of the show because that's really cool. When I heard about that,
that's crazy.
I like that. All right, Mike, go ahead.
So later in the show, Cecil Shorts is going to come on to help break down the differences of playing cornerback and receiver at the highest of high levels. Tyvis played defensive back. We don't have an NFL receiver on the show, so he's going to give us that little insight. But to kind of preview that conversation with Cecil, and this is in the context of Travis Hunter, who is being mocked. Mel Kiper had a new mock out today. He had the Browns taking Travis Hunter at number 2. So in the context of Travis Hunter, what is more valuable in today's NFL? A dominant wide receiver 1 or a lockdown cornerback 1? We know Hunter can play both, but Tyvis, we'll start with you. What is a more valuable commodity in today's era of the NFL, a dominant receiver or a dominant cornerback?
As much as it pains me to say this, it's obviously
he ain't crazy.
Like a wide receiver 1.
He's not crazy.
It kills me to say this, but it's 1,000% a wide receiver 1 because of the fact that they can change the entire game. I know that the thing about corners today is that they're very up and down. You know, when it comes to years, there's not 100%. A lot of consistency at the corner position, and it really bothers me because back when I was playing amongst some of those guys, you know, those guys were consistent year in and year out. These corners can have a good year. The next year they can fall totally off and then come back and everybody still say they're great. So, but at the wide receiver position, you've seen how just one receiver change the game. Look, Jamar Chase, for example, changes the entire game for Cincinnati every time he plays. Double team, triple team, it doesn't matter. He still finds a way to get open and score touchdowns. If you want to be successful in this league nowadays, you got to be able to score points. And obviously the wide receiver is the direct correlation to scoring points. So, yeah, it's wide receiver 1.
Man, listen, man, Tyvis, I like your integrity, man. I like your integrity. A lot of guys would have set up here and faked in front. But, I
gotta keep it real.
You kept it real. You kept it 100,000% G, and you are correct, man. Here, watch this. Hey, Bull, you know what this is? If you do this,
that's holding.
5-yard penalty.
Automatic first down.
That's all I gotta say. When you're a receiver and they give you that, and you've been busting your tail, and it's Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson, and they've been cooking you all afternoon, and you got 1 or 2 good reps in a row, and then Jamar Chase will hit you with the and then you got to grab, and it'll be 4.5 seconds. They'd be like, that flag, that changes everything. You cannot give these quarterbacks.
That's the worst feeling in the world. It's 3rd and 10. And it's holding automatic first down. Yeah. Everybody on the defense be like, oh.
It hurts your soul. You done gave Joe Burrow, you done gave Lamar Jackson, you done gave Josh Allen a whole fresh set of downs. I done busted my ass to get these dudes off the field. Yeah. They done invaded me. I've been chasing Lamar and Josh the whole time, and I got him on the run. And they give him, and you let him off the hook. It's obviously receiver. Receiver changes everything. Look, you sit up here with the spoils of riches. Bull was not even excited about life prior to the signings of T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. This dude got his house. He got his house refurbished. Everything. He just listen. He could let his son off school for 2 weeks. They signed Chase and Higgins, bro. I say, man, look, he's just a much better host right now. Just everything working out for him. Because guess what? He has multiple weapons now. Multiple every game. Give me one. Just let me get one. One.
When I was a kid, it was a different story. Yeah. Obviously, I don't really believe there are any shutdown corners anymore.
No such thing.
You can't play that way.
I don't don't think they let you play that way anymore.
So yeah.
Who won Defensive Player of the Year last year?
Pat Surtain.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we remember. You know how hard it is for a corner to win Defensive Player of the Year? I just wanted to make sure that we...
Let me ask you this. Excellent player.
Yes.
But when you think, and you're way younger than I am, but when you think of the all-time great corners, name's not coming up.
No, but he's got an award that a lot of people... The only person I know that got that is what? Stephon Gilmore.
Right. And what do
so
we,
that's only last
think
person
about it,
had it.
As we were growing up, and G's not as old as me, but certainly older than you, there was always a couple of guys who you did not throw the ball their way.
Right. That's what I be saying.
And that just doesn't exist.
That's what I be saying.
Yes.
You know why?
Yeah.
Because corners don't get a lot of picks no more.
They don't get picks.
They are more PBUs nowadays.
Yeah. That's right.
If they was to pick that ball off,
I would love it.
Them OCs would say, no, we not going over there. Because I got to explain to everybody. If you throw it to me and I deflect it, an OC's going to say, all right, now we got a 50-50 chance. You throw it to me and I pick it, it's like, yeah, that dude, he's taking the ball away from us.
And
don't mess with him.
Have the ability to get to the near sideline
and score?
And take it back and score? Yeah. That's terrifying. That changed the whole game.
There are 7 cornerbacks since they started handing out Defensive Player of the Year awards who have won the DPOY. 7. Real quick, and there's a reason I'm asking this question.
I named you 2.
You got 2 of them. We got Gilmore and Surtain, the 2 most recent. Can you name the other 5 who have ever won?
Darrelle Revis.
He did not.
When did it start? The year?
This goes back to 75.
Darrell Green.
Nope.
Dion
won.
Rod Woodson.
He won in 93.
Well, he was a safety.
Charles Woodson.
Wasn't Rod Woodson?
He won in 2009.
I'm cooking right now. Let me
You
go.
got 2 more. You got 1980 and 1975, Ty.
1980 and 1975.
Ronnie Lott?
Nope.
1980. Darrell Green?
I said Darrell Green.
Oh, you said Darrell Green?
Darrell Green did not. And they have safeties listed as a different position, Bull. So if Rod Woodson played more safety, he's listed as a corner.
Rod Woodson played corner. He played both.
He's listed as a corner here. 2
80
more.
and 75.
That's a long time.
We won't spend too much time on it, but I have a reason for asking.
Who are the other 2?
Are they big names?
I knew one. I would never have guessed the other.
Dave Durrison.
Mel Blount won in 75.
Mel Blount?
Blunt.
Steelers.
He got.
And then Lester Hayes won in 80.
For the Raiders.
The reason I asked that is when I think of the most dominant cornerbacks that in my lifetime I can remember, it was Darrelle Revis. You did not throw at Darrelle Revis. At the end of the season and growing up in New Jersey, the New York area, they would show the stats. Darrelle Revis had 40 targets all season. Teams just did not throw his way. He never won a DPOY. Yeah. I don't think that level of lockdown, Revis Island type cornerback, as good as Surtain is and as good as some of these guys are, they don't exist because the way offenses can create releases, they can bunch stuff, so then everyone's getting their own routes and separations. It's a different era of football.
Yeah.
And I think receiver is just significantly more valuable because of the ways you can take out a cornerback from the game plan. You can't take out a receiver.
Is Revis the last? And even he wasn't great for that long.
Revis had, it's crazy. I did this study. Revis had a year that was his 1 year was unbelievable. But Champ Bailey has a year that is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. Between him, Nnamdi, and Revis, them three got like single seasons. That's like some of the
and
greatest
I've
ever.
Completely off the
Nnamdi
cliff.
went to the Eagles, and he
was
Asante Samuel was the opposite side. And this is the thing. This is where if you ever follow Asante Samuel, he's big on interceptions. The reason Nnamdi got exposed is because teams weren't afraid of Nnamdi. They were afraid of Asante because Asante was pick sixing you. Nnamdi was just deflecting the ball. So I'm not throwing at Asante, but I am going to go at Nnamdi.
But why? I don't know who was advising him, but there's no way.
Who? Asante?
Listen.
Talking about him and Deion beefing?
Yeah.
Now listen. Hold on. I'm glad
I'm looking at the stats real quick. You ain't kidding. Darrelle Revis had 31 pass breakups in 2009.
No, Champ Bailey's stuff was ridiculous.
I'll go to Champ Bailey's next.
Champ was ridiculous.
In 2009, he finished second in the DPOY voting. He had 6 picks and 31 pass breakups. In 2006, Champ Bailey had 10 interceptions, 21 pass breakups, and 4 forced fumbles, finished second in DPOY voting.
It was ridiculous. I think he had like I can't remember what it was, but it was like his completion percentage was something just ridiculous. So, but the thing that Deion and Asante is beefing about is so funny to me because you can tell it's just two different eras of football. Deion is saying that he likes to run out of his break. He doesn't believe in the T-step. The T-step for people is when you take your foot and you slightly turn it when you break to come back forward. Mm-hmm. I was a T-stepper. That's what is being taught today. Deion was taught to run out your break. It's just boom, boom, you just run your feet out of the break. How I feel about it is it doesn't matter if you T-step or run out the break. Can you get out? Whatever you need to do to get out your break faster works. The reason that Asante feels the way he feels is because that's what he was taught. And if you watch majority of corner or DBs today, they do that. Now, the reason why their arguments is not even relevant is because nowadays all corners play press man to man. If you play off, that matters. If you play press man to man, it doesn't matter if you run out your break or T-step out your break. You ain't doing it no ways because you pressing up. Mm-hmm. If you playing off, that's when your break matters. Mm-hmm. So the argument is kind of irrelevant.
Now, Tyvis, I want to go through there because we started this with Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
And Steve, if you could keep rolling these footage. When people is trying to tell me that this man is mid when it comes to this, he's jumping. He's in zone coverage, and he's jumping routes that ain't even his. He's sticky in man coverage. He's locking boys up. Can you tell me, when you watching him play, what makes him so good at corner that he could play man and zone? Or maybe you don't think he that good.
I never said that.
Oh, all right. I was
actually, I'm in the minority because a lot of people think he's a better wide receiver than corner. I actually think he's a better corner than wide receiver. I think we'll talk to Cecil about it, but when it comes to him, I think that he has to clean up some stuff when it comes to routes. You know, his footwork got to be a little bit better. And I don't fault him for it not being great right now because he's playing both sides of the ball. So it's like, all right, you know, I just seen him recently go on a podcast and he was saying there's 24 hours a day, it's 8 hours of sleep, so I got 16 hours dedicated to being able to play both sides of the ball. And the thing is, he's never took the time out to perfect one. So it's going to be things that's going to slip through the cracks that he's not crispy at because he's not spending all of his time on that. But the reason I like him as both man, obviously we seen how sticky he was. He got good feet. He got to stop that false step at the beginning, but you know, you can get coached out of that. You just got to take a step back, which he learned. You see, usually some people is pressed right up on the guy. If you're a false stepper, you got to take a step back to compensate for taking that step, because if you go against a good, quick wide receiver, you take that false step, he going past you and it's over with. So he knows somebody has gotten his ear and told him, just take a step back. He's doing a really good job, quiet feet at the line, plays the ball really well. That's what I love about him at DB. That's, to me, is what will make him a better DB than a lot of DBs in the league, because he has great ball skills. When the ball is in the air, he believes it's his, and he knows how to play it because he's a good wide receiver.
So I want to ask one more question. Now, since you're telling the truth today.
What's that supposed to be? First of all, I tell the truth every day.
Since he's telling the truth
tell the truth every day.
Is he already a starting corner for the Browns?
You saying over Martin Emerson?
I just said start corner.
100%, though.
Because I'm looking at it right now. If I'm looking at Newsom,
this is the thing. This what the only thing that worries me about Travis Hunter, whether it's wide receiver or corner, is he played in the Big 12.
Okay.
In the Big 12 conference, it's okay, but it ain't the Big 10 and it ain't the SEC. So my thing is, I know he's a great athlete. I know that. But will that translate to when you go up against other athletes that's really good as well? Because in the NFL, everybody's really good at talent. You wouldn't be in the NFL if you're not that talented.
Yeah.
Would this apply to Justin Jefferson if he's got to check a Jamar Chase?
Right.
Like, you can get away with some stuff in the Big 12. Like, you got to be technically sound in the NFL. One little false step, and that's all they need to be the big difference. So my biggest concern about him is, see, like that right there, for that example right there, that entire play, he didn't even look at his man. He looked at the quarterback the entire time. When he comes, when he's checking somebody, if you watch his clips, when they break, he immediately turns his head to look where the ball is at. That's, in the league, you are giving up like 3 steps. You are taught to take 2 steps before or 3 hard steps before you look back for the ball. Those little things is the difference between making the play and not making the play. And that's some things that he's got to clean up. So that concerns me. I say all that to say he will grow out of it, but he's going to you talking about week 1 for the Cleveland Browns starting, I would start Martin Emerson.
It is amazing how good he is at both, considering, as you say, he hasn't been able to focus on either.
Yes.
Right? It's, or not that he wasn't focused, but not as much as he would be if he were just doing one or the other. But ultimately, we started this conversation by saying wide receiver is more important. So if he's a 98 as a defensive back and a 92 as a wide receiver, I'm making wide receiver first priority.
Well, I mean, due to the fact that we have a bigger need at wide receiver on this team, I would definitely play him at wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean, if they're playing him at wide receiver and in the 3rd round, 4th round, whatever, they can grab a back who turns out to be really good because there's great depth. Great depth in running back. The talent level of this offense could skyrocket.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, until you get the quarterback, there's just so high you can go. But, maybe whether it's getting a quarterback in the 2nd round if they end up taking Hunter, or whether they don't take a crack at it till next year, whatever it may be, maybe the quarterback actually, for once in Cleveland, comes into a very good situation where you have a lot of skill position talent. And it would all be young, because Judy would be the oldest guy by next year.
And Njoku's a little older, but...
Yeah, but, and
if you're not counting tight end, then
if you had Travis Hunter and let's say they hit on the running back, well, now Njoku's your 4th guy on the offensive depth.
I've been waiting to demote him. He got to have a bounce back.
He needs the durability, his biggest problem is durability and consistency, because he will show you like this dude could be unbelievable, but then 2 or 3 weeks he won't do nothing.
He'll disappear for like large stretches of the year, like 4 weeks. He'd be like, "What is it?"
And then he gets hurt, and then he's out the lineup.
I think the Browns are going to draft a tight end this
year.
Oh,
they definitely are. They 1,000%.
Especially because he wants to use a lot of tight ends.
They're going back to 12 personnel. So you definitely need
if they do go down the Jalen Milroe road, and I get it. I know the short to intermediate passes is his weakness now, but still, you want to they're going to run the ball a lot. With him, you don't want to put too much on him, especially early in his career. He probably wouldn't play his first year if they could avoid it.
You talking about Jalen Milroe?
Yeah, right. Okay. I mean, I shouldn't say he wouldn't play, because they probably do Wildcat.
You got to get him on the field at some time. Get some.
But he's not going to be the starter. Certainly not right away.
It's Cleveland. All three wide quarterbacks should be ready to play at some point.
I hear you, but anyway, it's going to be fascinating. And whether it's the Browns or any other team, what to do with Travis Hunter is going to be a fascinating question. The guy keeps saying he wants to do both.
I let him do both.
I would let him do both. If I'm a team, I'm drafting him. Part of the reason I'm drafting him is because I feel like I can get 2 special players.
This goes back to what I was talking about last week with my concern about the development, how the Cleveland Browns develop talent. Because I just sat here and told you some things. It's the littlest things.
Got to be cleaned up.
Eyesight or a false step. It's the littlest things. If the person for the Cleveland Browns, that DB coach, ain't saying what I just told you, that's a shame.
Well, if he ain't saying that, then it shouldn't be the DB coach. That's a shame.
But if I get out here next year, let's say, because I believe that they are going to draft Travis Hunter. Let's say that Travis Hunter takes a corner rep and he gets out there. Now I'm not going to fault him for the first He's going to do it. Old habits just creep back. But if by the middle of the season, if he's still looking back as soon as somebody breaks, I'm going to be like, so nobody told you, like,
no, that's fair.
They're literally going to get 2 steps on you every time you do
Part of it with him is it's good. And if they do let him do both, it's going to be a challenge.
If he's running wide receiver and he gets to the top of his routes and it's still like take 3 steps to get out of your breaks, like somebody need to tell you about that.
There's, it's always a fine line when you coaching somebody that got the. I guess I call it it's like Yu-Gi-Oh! It's the Millennium Eye. Mm-hmm. Like when you got the Millennium Eye, you just see stuff. You just be like, interceptions and a lot of, like, when you getting turnovers or you a playmaker, you can't coach no playmaker. Like, you don't know why the ball just goes to those guys. Mm-hmm. You just be like, all right. So Travis Hunter, when he's in zone coverage, I'm watching some of these zone coverages and I'm like, that's not even his man. Mm-hmm. That's not even his zone. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I'm like the one interception he had against TCU, he just jumps this flat route. Look at this. Look, he's in zone right here. Look, that ain't your man. I baited you. Got you.
See, but what he is okay. So
look, that ain't your man.
So right there, what he's doing is he's in cover 2. He's playing cover 2 right here. So his job is the flats. And where he's using his athleticism is, so when you play cover 2, your job is you got to reroute number 1 inside. You want to get him closer to that safety. And as you do that, then you get your eyes on the quarterback. And the quarterback is going to tell you where it is. Now, I tell everybody, you got to look at that front tip of that quarterback shoulder. If you look at that front tip like that there, like, you know where he's going. It's literally going to point to where you're going to go. So therefore, if a quarterback looks this way but his shoulder's that way, he's still throwing that way. He's just trying to look you up. And he's doing a really good job of baiting. We call it putting cheese on it.
Right.
Ty, on Thursday, you want to diagram some of this on the iPad for us?
Sure.
Yeah. We don't have it loaded
to your
up now,
point,
but
Ty,
Thursday we can do that.
Don't you think that in the NFL,
unique.
See, that's what
quarterback's going to bait him.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So, like, he can do these things. And like I say, you got to get out there. You got to get in the NFL. Some of them preseason games, you got to try it. You got to see what you can do.
Right.
But you got to understand that these quarterbacks are really, really good. So the things that you could put cheese on something, but it can't be too much cheese that you can't get to your assignment.
Right.
And for some of these routes, like the first one where he jumped the flats for the interception, like the quarterback literally turned his whole body and said, this is one way. If a quarterback goes and turns his whole body this way, he don't have time to go, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go back. Like, he should be sacked by that point.
You do got a guy named Myles Garrett back
exactly.
there.
So it's some of these routes, it's a given that the ball is going to come out at a certain time. But like I say, it's all easier said than done. Like, I can sit here and tell you that when you're in the field of play, you got to be a football player. And his instincts is really good.
Listen, there's definitely things to clean up on both sides of the ball for Travis Hunter. But the talent is through the roof.
Yeah, it is. It's ridiculous.
He's a great, by all accounts, a great kid, great young man.
Yep.
He's all football.
Smart as can be.
Smart.
Academic,
like, he's got everything you want. The things you're talking about can all be cleaned up.
Just keep them. Yeah. You got to keep some of them Cleveland girls away from them.
No. You leave. We're going to leave.
We ain't going to let the party.
We're going to leave.
She can't be out here partying with some of these girls.
And we're going to leave. Leave his girl alone. Stop messing. The one leave her alone.
I ain't saying nothing about it. All I'm saying is, you know what it. Listen, I've been in Cleveland. I'm just telling you. Y'all in the comment. Y'all people in the comment know what I'm talking about.
All right.